Hey guys, it's Josh here and welcome back to another speed build video. Today I'm doing something that I was so excited to do and I had been talking about in a few of my previous videos, and that was building a modern or just a design home, not a design home, a display home in general, because I know that like my previous houses recently have had so much clutter it wasn't even funny. So I decided that why not build a house where basically one of the rules would be to minimize as much clutter as possible. So I thought what better than to build a display home, because generally, to me at least, also to the ones I visited, display homes are generally not that cluttered. They do have decorations such as like vases and flowers and stuff like that, but generally there's not like tissues or like toothbrushes or anything like that. So I thought why not do a display home and just like decorate the house but not clutter it too much. So like you'll find that this house has basically like minimal decorations. And also one thing is, I'm so sorry if you can hear like noises in the background, because actually my kitchen's being renovated right now, so it's like really loud. I tried to pick a quiet time. I was going to do this last night, but I had no time whatsoever to record this voiceover, so I'm so sorry about that if you can hear noises. In the future I'll try to like manage the time a little bit better, but I'll do my best for this as well. But anyway, this house has 2 bedrooms, sorry, I've already forgotten this house and I built this yesterday, oh my goodness. So this house has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, one being an ensuite. It has an upstairs lounge area, and downstairs is basically where the formal stuff is. So there's just a kitchen, a formal dining area, and a little like reading corner, which is a part of the dining area. And there's lots of like, not a lot of, but there's like a pretty decent amount of like fancy decoration. So I wouldn't classify it as clutter, which is why I included it. So it's basically like really nice artworks. Like I feel like a rich person would live here, but they'd probably move out once they got a family, since this is a fairly small house. Like I guess you could expand it if you like, but I think it would be a little bit difficult to expand because the shape is quite like unique, and building onto it might be a little bit difficult to, and like you'll be able to obviously build onto it, but making it look like it's half decent might be a little bit tricky. And one design like feature I did for this house was include like this really flat back or really flat side wall. I was looking through screenshots on Google before I built this house. I just searched like modern house design or something, and I just saw this picture. I think it was The Sims 2 actually. It's so funny how many pictures of Sims you see when you try and look up architectural like designs and house designs and exteriors. It was so funny because I just saw this Sims 2 picture and it looked so amazing. The front of the house and that particular side of the house was heavily inspired by it. I did actually change up the front a little bit, but the side is similar in the way that it has windows and it's just one flat thing. Because I haven't really built anything like that before, I thought it was so interesting, and I incorporated into the interior as well. So like that wall is basically fully exposed from the inside, so it looks so cool. And one thing I did try to do is I tried to split away I just did it right there, how I made it like a little balcony kind of thing. So even from the second floor you can look down onto the first floor and you can see this amazing huge wall. I actually didn't put many decorations on it, but the windows are kind of decorations itself, and honestly it looks so cool. And the basic interior design, I guess you could call it, is it's mainly black and white modern with pops of color through paintings. The bedrooms, as per usual, are fairly colorful and different to the rest of the house, because if there's more than one bedroom in the house, I try to vary them up a little bit, because honestly I don't want to have the same bedrooms because it's just so weird. It would kind of make sense for a display home though, since it's just kind of basically furnished, like it just uses basic furniture, but I just felt like I'll just change it up a little bit. And the styling is similar, but the colors are different. I'm pretty sure the master bedroom is like green and then the other bedroom is blue. I've completely forgotten already, and I built this house yesterday. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? But anyway, I really like this balcony area. If you can see right now on the exterior corner, I honestly like how it turns out. I like how I framed it with the black trimmings and columns. I think it looks really cool, and it brings the corner out a little bit more, because the side of the house is kind of really like out there because it's so flat, and it contrasts so much to the rest of the house, because the rest of the house is kind of like not flat. I don't know how to say it. I'm so bad with words, but it's just not flat. And then this one side is completely flat, and Honestly, that chandelier I just put down, I love it so much, but I never use it because like none of my houses are big enough for me to place that. It was really cool to be able to use that. Again, I think I've used it once before in one of my builds on this channel, but apart from that, I've never used it before. I think it's from Spa Day. It's either from Spa Day or Dine Out. I completely forgot. But anyway, we're finally laying out the rooms a little bit now. At the start, I was going to have this to be a 3-bedroom house, but then I was like, where am I going to put the lounge room? Because I kind of got the idea from the start to kind of like hide away the lounge area so that when guests visit, they'd probably sit in the little reading area, or they could sit at the dining table, or even sit at the kitchen counters. But like, you wouldn't want them to go upstairs and see all the mess that would probably be up there if you were living here, because I wanted to keep the ground floor at least completely clutter free, because I felt like if a rich person or someone was living here, they'd want to keep like the house pretty neat, because obviously they have a reputation to like uphold. So they'd have to like keep the house really clean, or at least make it look like it's really clean from the ground floor at least. And then just make like the upstairs area kind of like the family or just like private area, so that when guests visit, they don't have to go up and see that. And one of my favorite parts of this house were the rugs, because honestly, I used the Get Famous rugs. I feel like ever since Get Famous came out, I've only been using the Get Famous rugs because they're so unique and abstract and amazing. Honestly, the color swatches are so cool, and we've got like nothing like it in the game, so it was really fun to use. And in general, the Get Famous items are really good, especially the mid-century ones. I'm not a fan of like the bougie ones, because I obviously don't really build like fancy rich people mansions that often. But I feel like if I do build one in the future, I will definitely be using the Get Famous items, because they're so cool, so unique, but not my style right now. But anyway, the kitchen is pretty simple. There's not much color. It's just really, really basic. But the other rooms in the house, I do try to add pops of color. But the ground floor, which is the formal area, is like, since the ground floor is the formal area, I try to keep it really like tame, and the colors are pretty like basic, since I didn't want to make it like too crazy. But upstairs is probably where more of the color is, because I feel like since it's a more private area, you'd be able to have more color without having to have too much trouble with like being too much to look at, because pops of color are pretty cool, but sometimes it could be a bit over the top. And honestly, these Get Famous windows are so cool. If you did see earlier, I was trying to put them on the flat side of the house, but it was just too big and it just stood out way too much from the wall, like poked out rather. So I just stuck with the regular base game windows, but I put the really big Get Famous square ones on the other side of the house, and it looks so cool. And I love how it lined up perfectly with the City Living bookshelf. That was really cool. We're starting to finish up the ground floor finally. I do put a few more things down. The seats have yet to go in, so you will see some seats being put down later where you could sit down and have a read if you like, or your Sims could like invite visitors over and they could just sit there and chat for a little bit, who knows. But anyway, one thing about the exterior is that there is going to be a really decently sized pool, and I love how it turned out, because it kind of like extends away from the hill of like the house is actually situated on a small hill, or at least the front of the house is, so that the pool actually extends out a little bit, which is so cool. Like honestly, the terrain tools are so amazing. Like I don't even think you could do something like that in The Sims 3. But it was so cool to be able to like extend the pool. It would be cool if you could put windows on there, but I think you can put windows on the pools if it is like on the first floor. But since this was part of a foundation, I couldn't put windows on the foundation. But anyway, yeah, this is the bathroom of the first floor. This is the main bathroom. Upstairs, there's the ensuite only. Probably a little bit of a design for the person living in the regular bedroom to have to come all the way down here to go to the toilet. It's not the best thing, but it's The Sims, so I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. For the time being, we're just placing the rugs down, placing the little bits of clutter. So I did put a little bit of clutter down, like that City Living dragon book thing. But apart from that, I don't think I put much else down. I think like even on the dining table, I didn't put salt and pepper or anything. I just put like a sculpture there. But anyway, I think after those few little items and the chairs and the ground floor, it's basically finished. I did try and put lots of paintings down, because I don't classify paintings as clutter. So I just put a bunch of like fancy decorations, fancy paintings down. But it seems that we're in upstairs area now. So for the upstairs area, I did try and keep the master bedroom really neat and like nice in terms of decorations, since if if people did come and visit this house to have a look at it, I feel like the master bedroom would be like the house that, not the house, the room that they'd look at, or the bedroom that they'd look at if they looked at any of them. So I made it look like it's pretty nicely decorated. The color scheme's pretty simple. It's like black and white, but there is a pop of color. I don't think it was orange in the end, but I picked a different color to make pop. And yeah, it's green. So this room is green, and honestly, that Get Famous rug, that green swatch, even that orange swatch, it's so amazing. Like, it's so like really detailed, and if you zoom in on it, the textures are so cool. But anyway, this house, or this bed, oh my god, I keep saying house. Oh my god, can I speak please? So this bedroom is green. I think the other bedroom is blue. I don't remember though. And then the upstairs ensuite is pretty dark, I believe. It's like, I think it's the same color scheme, but it just looks a bit dark right now since there's actually no light in there. But yeah, it's the same color scheme, and for some reason I noticed that in some of my builds, I put like the bathrooms on top of each other. I'm not sure why I do that, but I think in one of my first builds for this channel, I did like the exact same thing, and the two bathrooms on both levels were basically like copies of each other. I'm not even joking. I think it was like the beach house or something. I don't remember the name. But anyway, we're working on the second bedroom now. It turns out this bedroom was more of a brown color scheme, which I think looks fine either way since the rest of the house is pretty black and white. So it was a nice change to have a warm brown bedroom and a really bright green bedroom as well. So those are the two colors of the bedrooms. And if you saw, I put two tablets down because once again, I just couldn't find room for a desk. I feel like you could probably put a desk like on the balcony area of the second floor, but I didn't want to put it on the ground floor because like that would bring private areas into the formal area, which I didn't want to do. You could potentially put one of those like tiny desks in the bedroom, but I didn't want to do that. I just want to keep it very simple, and honestly, I feel like most of the things these days happen on tablets anyway, so unless you're playing like Sims or a video game that's only for the computer, you could probably use your like tablet to like browse the web, watch YouTube, like you could use it to do nearly anything these days. But anyway, I think we're almost done inside. Outside doesn't take much longer as well because it's just me placing the outdoor furniture. There is a small dining area, a barbecue area, a pool obviously, and there's just a few like plants here and there. I did like make like a little garden circular kind of bed at the front because this lot was actually quite big. I probably should have used a little bit smaller lot. So like if you guys want to place this house on like a 30 by 20 lot, I think you'll be able to do that, but this is built on a 30 by 40 lot, I believe, on Brindleton Bay, where, as you can see on the top left, Brindleton Hospital was. So yeah, if you'd like to place it exactly where you see it being built, it's the Brindleton Hospital lot. But anyway, as you can see, the pool is going in now, and we're finally moving to the outside area. And as you can see, the pool kind of like goes out off of the hill, which I think looks so cool. And I was going to do that with the house itself, but I just decided not to in the end. But you can kind of see it it kind of does that on the front of the house though, but I didn't do it. I didn't like extend it over to the back so that Sims can enjoy the back area that's kind of like off the ground, I guess. I'm not too sure what I'm saying right now. But anyway, I go through a little stage where I was going to try and make that dark corner right now of the house. Like I just decided to add a dark corner, but it just popped way too much. And one thing I don't like about The Sims 3 is that, you know, the roofs in Sims 4, not Sims 4, I can't even talk right now. So the one thing I don't like in The Sims 4 is that, unlike The Sims 3, when you paint the roofs, you can't paint the individual tiles. I feel like you could do that in The Sims 3. It's been so long since I've played it, but I'm pretty sure you could. And honestly, that was one of my favorite parts of the roofing, is that you could change the color, the painting on the roof on any tile. But for The Sims 4, it's just like you can only put one wallpaper on it, and it's so annoying because I want to vary it up a little bit, but they only let you do one tile, which is so like one wallpaper paint. But anyway, enough ranting about that. Like, I don't think that was a rant, that was just me talking about it. But anyway, it's just a bit annoying. But we're placing the lights now. I think in my previous speed build, my Del Sol Valley build, at the end of the speed build, it turned out that I didn't even change the lights. Like, I always use like the circular lights just as a quick thing, just so that you guys can see the build when I'm building it. So I had to go in after I finished recording and fix up all the lights. But it seems that for this build, I did do it, which is good. So then you can actually see what lights are actually going to be there. But anyway, we're placing the plants now. There isn't much longer left to go, so I'll probably leave you guys off here. If you'd like to find this build on the gallery, it will be up as Modern Display Home. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be screenshots right after this, so definitely stay tuned for that. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!